Hi everyone, and welcome to the Webcast for Infinity and Beyond, presented by Animation Kingdom, episode 17. It is November 24th, and it's big sort of Thanksgiving week. I'm Roger here in the United Kingdom, and we've got Abe over there in Sully, California.
How's it going, everybody?
Okay, and on this week's show we've got loads of information, including a new competition that we're running. We've also got some information on a survey that was run this week, new folders for Power Discs, Crystal Mickey, Sorcerer, Black Friday, and we're also going to try and discuss the Marvel Toy Box game discs, Assault on the Kill, and also Assault on Asgard and Escape from the Kill, getting them to the wrong way around. Okay, so let's kick off with the news because we got loads of it this week. Right, so we're going to kick off with our sort of the main bit of news we want to just mention straight away. We are running a number of competitions over the next few weeks for some Disney Infinity items. All you need to do is check out VanimationKingdom.com and you'll have all the information there on how to enter. Basically, you can enter in and you can gain extra entries through liking us on Facebook and Twitter, etc. This week's prize is a Maleficent and Merida single figure. Next week we'll be giving away Tinkerbell and Donald. The following week we will be giving away Hero and Bimax, and the week after we'll be giving away an Xbox One Toy Box Starter Pack. So we've got lots of competitions, so be sure to check us out on our website on how to enter that, and good luck to everyone that enters.
Yeah, and this is definitely a privilege to be able to partner up with Disney Infinity to do this giveaway for everybody. So definitely just say a nice little thank you on there, not even for us, just for the Disney Infinity team,
So
for being generous with you
Big thank
guys.
you to Disney for helping us out with that. Right, so the big news of the week, sort of, we're going to go through a few bits and pieces. First off, we've got there was a survey that came out earlier in the week that I got sent on an email. And in this survey, it was a bit of just a sort of a random sort of email came into my inbox, basically asking me for feedback about Disney Infinity. And it asked me about if I've played other video games such as Skylanders or Assassin's Creed or Lego. But what really caught my attention, and we had the same last year, was it said, which of the following characters would you like to play in Disney Infinity? What would you add? There was lots of characters like Mulan, you had Princess Leia, Minnie Mouse, Cruella, Black Suit Spider-Man, Tron, Chewbacca. There was even a character called Violetta, which is apparently from some Disney Channel Spanish TV show, so I don't know quite what that was about. There was R2-D2, Darth Vader, Aurora, Obi-Wan, Young, Baloo, Ultron, and others. And that was the first part of the survey. So it's interesting to see that there's a very strong push there for Star Wars, unsurprisingly, and just a bit. I thought it was a bit of an odd sort of selection of characters and also you got to tick all of them. I basically went down and ticked all of them, but it just seems a bit of a little bit of fishing. They're just trying to work out who's popular, who's maybe not. I thought it was a bit odd that they had Loki written on the list when we already know he's coming, and obviously Tron, but it's certainly an interesting sort of choice there. What did you think about that, Abe?
That was awesome. I actually like to see that they're doing stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if it was basically an out of the States type of survey, because I didn't see anything. A lot of people out here in the US didn't see
I think
that survey at all.
Might have just been like a Europe or a UK thing.
Yeah.
But I know Disney are very sort of good at listening to feedback. They want to know about what people think of the game. They want to get that feedback so they can make the game better. It's a simple thing. Like a lot of the characters that came on the Toy Box mode this year were purely from feedback from last year.
Yeah, and there was actually 3 of those that you mentioned that really stuck out to me when I saw your article. One of them was obviously Black Suit Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And only because I heard John Vignacchi kind of throw out like ideas during the conference call, and I heard that before, so that kind of looked interesting to see it on your list.
And I'm still tempted that could be that painted variant.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, clearly to see it on that list too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The other one that stuck out to me was Cinderella because they do
yeah,
have
the new
that new
movie.
trailer recently came
Yeah,
out, and it just makes sense to release her with the new movie. I mean, we had Maleficent, and boom, we have a Maleficent figure. So, and the last one that stuck out to me, and only because it's just personal preference and it kind of makes me excited, but something like this. I
oh, you
love
mean
Darth
Baloo?
Vader. I love Darth Vader, and it just made me excited to see that on the list because a lot of the rumor mill happens where
Yeah,
they say, oh, Star Wars and oh, it's going to be Rebels or anything that's new. I would love classics if that ever happens. It's all rumor mill from now, but
yeah,
classic Star Wars would be amazing. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Those characters on that survey was kind of
yeah,
cool to see. I like the fact that they're going out there and, like you said, trying to pick everybody's brain
yeah.
out there.
But it's like you said, they were
And it's kind
very,
of exciting to see.
and it was very, like you said, very aimed at the classic Star Wars, other than Obi-Wan Young, which obviously might kick into Rebels or kick into anything else. But yeah, it was definitely kind of more aimed at the classic trilogy rather than the prequels.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
No,
also, carry on.
no. I was just finishing my
Yeah,
sentence.
there was also a question there. Yeah, basically asking, since I've already got the game, it asked me, could I pick 3 things that I'd like to make the biggest to improve on the game, which included
Oh, right.
clear instructions, add more power discs, be more creative options in the toy box, more missions in the playset, more diversity of play in the playsets, add more playsets, add more characters, more innovation compared to the first game, more adventure specific to each figurine, and help me more in the toy box. So there, I mean, the first one obviously that everyone will just kind of go,
Yep.
more playsets, please. That's going to be the standard bearer, I think, for everyone. Um,
Yeah.
more playsets. They are aware of this as a situation. They are aware of people's demand for playsets. I like the idea that they put them more specific to each figurine. I must admit, I thought I liked that in the first game, where every character you got, you unlocked a special toy box basically to use. And I think it's a bit. I think it was a mistake not having it in the second game. I think it gives you an extra bit of value in a character. I felt in that first one you popped it down, you got a couple of toys, and you got basically an adventure to use.
Mm.
I must admit now, in the new game, you pop your character down, and there's no, other than the actual playing value of it, you don't unlock anything of any value. I don't count a townsperson and a portrait as anything of value, really, to me.
I'm in agreement with you on this one. In fact, one of the things I noticed with 2.0 was the fact that you were going to be swapping a lot of your figures, and there was no like little chests that were only open by your figure. But I thought that was a great direction. But then once playing 2.0, I kind of like you, I found myself not playing with certain figures. So it's
Yeah.
like I would like to see something that will actually require me to put that figure down. So
Yeah.
it's like whether it be a little small chest or, like you said, those little missions that you got, like their own little individual toy box. Those were cool.
Yeah,
So that's something that we were missing on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the one thing that kind of jumped at me, was that sort of individual. I think it was a shame that they lost it. I mean, I would love to, even if they kept those adventures for the classic figures in the new game. I mean, I know they could reissue them as a toy box if they wanted to. It's kind of one of those things of, will they carry on with that? Maybe as they're looking now, they've got 60, 70 characters. Maybe it's sort of getting out of hand that they can't do it going forward. I was thinking about this. Next year, we could easily be up to 90 figures by this time next year.
Out of curiosity, what was your third choice out of those three? I mean, out of the
I
three
think
you
it was
picked.
more variety in the playset. I think was my option. Just to kind of, I think that was the thing. And more power, more play sets, adventures, and just a bit more variety, because I think that was the one problem with 2.0. I certainly don't want any more power discs. There's enough of them.
I knew you were going to say that. I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah.
You're probably one of the people like, no power discs.
Yeah, I don't need. I've got about 7 tubes of power discs, and I'm forever going on eBay trying to sort of finish off the Marvel, or finish them all off. Yeah, I really don't need them. I still just mainly play with Merlin's summons and was it Scrooge McDuck's money one, and they're the only two that I would leave underneath the figure. I don't bother with them.
Yeah, I find myself using them obviously in toy box and multiplayer more than anything. So
I will admit,
yeah, it makes sense.
I've been using the terrains and the skydomes more as I've been sort of getting into toy box stuff, because I've suddenly realised that thing of those terrains, they also unlock extra toys. So building my Gravity Falls toy box this week, I didn't have the terrain, so I did just spend £5 on the toy box on eBay. Going, I need it by the weekend. I was like, I need that one for this week, so I'll get that one sorted. So that was the survey. So lots of information coming out of that. Again, it's all just questions and answers. There's no confirmation of anything coming. It's just they're just trying to get a gauge on what we'd like to see in the future. So none of that is confirmed.
No confirmation, but it's always great to see that they're doing research, because they obviously want to do what we want. You know what I mean? They want to make us happy, so that's awesome.
Make more money, don't give us a load of characters that we don't ask for. Give us ones that can make more money. Just common sense, really. Yeah. Okay, so we've got 2 new Power Disc folders out. First off, we've got we announced last week that there was the Target one of the Disney originals, which is a nice folder. It's the only one available at the minute for the Disney side, and it comes with those 5 Power Discs, the Lion King, the Hero's Duty Gun, Rags to Riches, and King Louie. Looks pretty cool. Holds the 40 Power Discs and also the 2 Toy Box game discs. Won't be able to hold the last few Disney Power Discs, but looks pretty cool. I know people have been picking it up in the US. It's $29.99, I think, at Target. It's available on their website now. I think it's quite interesting that they've put Jack Skellington on the front cover with all the new ones. Sort of a bit of a nod to the old characters there. That was pretty cool.
I think they're tying into the Power Disc as well, because obviously that's kind of fresh and new. So.
Yeah. And also there's a Marvel one as well out in GameStop. I think it's out this Friday. We don't yet know what those 5 Power Discs are. Very simple to the first one. These are great. I think some people really love these albums. I'm starting to think that maybe I should have gone for them in the beginning myself, but as I'm going forward with these tubes everywhere.
You know what? I mean, I got into a discussion with one of the other members in the group about these albums. I used to love them. Once the Series 3 didn't come out, I kind of put a little hiccup in my my collector aspect. But ever since they released the disc folio, I've been enjoying those.
Yeah.
However, for the member that I spoke to, I mean, they have kids and they're always messing around with the pages and they'll tear off. And apparently, these, even though they're hard to put in, once you put them in a few times, it's pretty simple to put in. So I can see why they're popular. So.
No, that's cool. So those are the folders. It's just a few other little bits and pieces. Over in Walt Disney World, they have been putting up some buses. Yeah, that's right. Some buses have been gone up. There was a story on the official Disney blog, and also one of our members, I think it was Jason, sent me this picture of the bus with the Marvel side on it as well. Because some of us were going, oh, well, they just advertising the Disney side. No, the other side of the bus has got all the Marvel characters on it as well. Great bit of cross promotion. I think when I was in Disney before, I saw a bus with Disney, the first game on it. So I don't think it's any particularly new. But yeah, it's great. It makes sense. They've got these whopping great big commercials on. And if you've been to Disney parks, in the buses they all have all the sort of the trailers and the things of all the new things coming out. So it just makes perfect sense. But
yeah, absolutely.
Also, this week we've got just a confirmation that if you are a sort of a Disney credit card holder, check your inbox or check your mail, because you will have the ability to download a free Donald Duck for the PC or iOS version. And on that note of the iOS, I saw something from JV. It looks like the iOS version might have been pushed back to December. And also looks like the patch has been pushed back a little bit as well to December, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah, a bummer.
Yeah, I got this nice new iPad waiting for Infinity, and now I'm just gonna have to play Free Fall on it instead. Not quite the same.
No, not a
No.
good comparison, but
Also, this week,
with due time.
yes, there was an event down in Walt Disney World. It was I think it's the D23 Rewind. Looks a really cool event. I've been looking at all the pictures. This picture was put up by one of our friends over at Stitch Kingdom, showing that you actually get the Crystal Mickey. They've got it as a gift for going. So, and apparently some of the retailers it's been popping up in some of the stores a little bit early. Some of them aren't selling them, but they've been popping up. So the sort of release date on this one seems to be a little bit sort of iffy. We're only just over a week or so away from the release. I think it was December the 6th. No UK dates yet. We haven't seen anything over here on them, but yeah, it's only we've only got about another 2 weeks till we get our final the final 1.0 character. And
Final one, finally,
yeah.
after
Yeah,
after it released.
so it will work in the old game. I must admit, there's one thing I really am slightly disappointed with the Sorcerer Mickey, is why didn't they give him a special power, a special move? They're wrapping him up in this 2.0 packaging, but he doesn't get a special move. The trigger button where you press it and they all have a big power move. The 1.0 characters don't have them, so.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
I think he was the one that should have been upgraded. If they've gone to the bother of releasing him as a 2.0 character, he should have got one, in my opinion.
Oh, you never know. I mean, maybe this patch might have something.
Yeah, I think I saw on a tweet from JV that the patch isn't adding anything to the 1.0 characters that they were talking about.
Oh, never mind.
No, so that might be. I think they're looking maybe going forward to 3.0 at this point for adding. Because what tends to happen at this time of the year is they're asking lots of questions and asking for feedback, such as that survey. Doesn't necessarily mean it's happening now. It might mean that what they want to add to the next game. Because that's.
Yeah, I don't want to create any hopes or anything, but with the DLC being something that not only they're starting to try out, but a lot of video games are starting to try out. You never know; it could happen.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Okay, so that is, and also this week, Disney Infinity is now on Steam. Which, if you are unaware, it's basically an online store for the PC where you can buy. And basically everything, once you buy it, it sort of stays in your store and you can download it. Costs $50 in the US, £30 in the UK, and it includes the Marvel Starter Pack, which is the Iron Man 4 Black Widow, the Avengers playset, and the 2 Toy Box game discs. It's all digital. All the information's there. It's a bit funny, really. I mean, you can download the game for free and then buy your bits extra anyway. But it is on Steam, and I know a lot of PC owners like to buy their games through Steam now. It's not. I think it's pretty much just the PC equivalent of PSN or Nintendo's eShop. Okay, and right. Speaking of Nintendo, this week that Amiibo has come out in the US. They're out next week here in the UK. So it's going to be again some more competition for Disney Infinity in terms of shelf space and people's money. And have you got a Wii U, Abe?
Do not have a Wii U. Do have a 3DS. I have seen a few Amiibos out there. Been thinking about them. I mean, some of them are really nice looking. It's just for me, the functionality is the only thing that's kind of pushing me away.
I mean, some of those figures look good. I mean, Mario and Luigi and Yoshi look pretty cool, but
yeah, there's some figures that looked really cool when they rendered them at first, and then the final release is kind of weird. Like Link has this weird orange thing holding him up instead of a clear plastic. So
yeah,
I don't know. Either way, they look really nice. Definitely another option for a lot of collectors out there. Functionality wise, we'll have to see because obviously there's not that many games that will make use of it. But other than that, they look cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see sort of, now we've got this free of these sort of Toys to Life games sort of out now. They're all competing for space in stores. They're all competing for sort of people's money. It's gonna be interesting. Basically you've got, Skylanders had it for a few years to themselves. Now they've got two competitors, and two big competitors with big brand names. It's gonna be interesting. I think Amiibo's got a slightly completely different take on it, because you don't actually control the characters; they just come in as like a sidekick.
Yeah, it's like a little bonus. Yeah.
I mean, I saw a sort of like wave 3 of them, and I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, well, they must have released like 30 characters. I'm thinking just for like Smash Brothers alone.
Well, Smash Brothers definitely has quite a lineup, but keep in mind that these figures are supposed to be functional in other games that they release in the future too.
Yeah.
It's not like where you're gonna need.
No.
Just one game and they all work. I mean, they work for multiple games apparently. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
see
know.
what
Like, I
happens.
think there's like the Captain Toad game coming, and I think that if you pop them down with Mario Kart, it changes the color, that changes their outfit or something. The functionality keeps changing, I think, for different games. Gonna be interesting to keep an eye on it. It is obviously a competitor to Disney Infinity, no different than us looking at Skylanders. But yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on them and sort of seeing what happens with the Amiibo stuff in the future. A couple of things that really did notice was they've put this little metal stick or metal thing underneath a character, so you can't keep it packaged up like you can with Infinity and Skylanders. And there's some people that might be going, well, it doesn't really matter, but for a lot of collectors, they don't like the fact they have to take them out of their boxes.
Wait.
Abe's looking a bit confused there. He's got
Yeah, I'm confused. What do you mean a metal thing below
Yeah,
the
they put
package?
like a magnetic sticker underneath, on the packaging for a figure. They actually put a little square
I get you.
underneath
So, you
the.
can't use the
you
plastic.
can't use it on your base. Sorry, I'm English.
That's kind of smart.
Yeah, so
No,
I don't think Infinity and Skylanders want to carry on with that. I know there's a specific comment on the official Disney website saying that they want to give collectors the choice of being able to not unbox things, because they know they want to encourage the collector mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's definitely a note to that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting actually to hear. It's kind of almost forcing people to buy two of each if they want to keep it.
Yeah. Right. Also, it is Black Friday this coming Friday. We've got Thanksgiving in the US, so you'll all be nice. Was it tucking into turkey and having a Christmas Day dinner? Okay, there we go.
Christmas.
Well, it's
similar, right?
It's the same. I've been out in the US a couple of times at Thanksgiving. I'm never ever making the mistake of going to the Magic Kingdom on Thanksgiving Day ever again. That was a mistake that we made a few years ago.
Yeah.
That was like, I think we're going to Epcot after about an hour of it being insane.
That's like gridlock right there.
Yeah. So, Black Friday means basically if you are after Disney Infinity, this is the week to go and get it. There are loads of offers. Basically, I know a lot of collectors have been holding off for the Black Friday deals. Disney.com/Infinity has put up loads of information on the Black Friday deals to make our life a lot easier. Walmart are offering the Marvel Starter Pack for $37, Target for $40, Best Buy for $40, Toys R Us for $40, GameStop coming up a bit, $55. They're not going to get a lot of sales at that price. So they, so if you're after the Marvel Starter Pack, to get it for half price, $37, $40, that's a great bargain. The Toy Box Starter Pack is also coming in around around $40 at the same stores. It says they've got an option here for the collector's edition, but I can't see that coming up, and that's not actually coming up with any options. And then finally, the figures are coming up. Walmart $9 each, Target $10. Toys R Us is buy one get one 40% off. In Best Buy free for $33. Also, I know some of the stores like Amazon and Toys R Us have been offering deals on power discs, free for $10. I think there was even free for $6. I think at one point.
At Toys R Us, and still actually right now. Yeah,
that's good. So I think Amazon have been doing a deal on the play sets. I think they were about $25 each. The playsets don't seem to be the one thing they're pushing as much as last year. That's the one thing that's standing out to me. They don't seem to be pushing them quite as heavily discounted. But a figure for $10, really good price, but a great price point to get in if you're after the starter packs. And also, if you went with the Marvel side, or you went with the, check out the price on the other starter pack if you want everything. We've said it before, but if you've got the Disney side and you want the Avengers, it might be cheaper to buy the Marvel starter pack than buying the Avengers play set.
Yeah, you get so much more. Yeah.
I mean, just looking at it purely from that, if the Avengers play set is $25 and 4 is $10, the play set, and then you're gonna have these guys in it as well. So yeah, just keep an eye out. So hopefully, if you're into Disney Infinity, you'll be able to save some money. Perfect for getting some presents and some stocking fillers. And I know it's the big event. A lot of collectors have been waiting for to backfill their collections. So that's cool.
It's the time to do it. A lot of people do their shopping. Not
right.
ready.
Okay, and finally, we are going to do the toy boxes. Okay, so this week's toy boxes were all themed around Fantasia. There was a couple of Disney toy boxes put up by the team, including Gravity Falls Mystery Fair, which was pretty cool. It was fun, actually. Yeah, that was cool. I could never complete the bit where you had to sort of basically bat the ball through the hole. I couldn't get that one done.
I didn't play that.
There was also a 2 toy boxes created by Tyforce and Papa Echo. They did like a special video where they had like an hour's challenge to try and create a toy box between the two of them, and those were the 2 toy boxes they created. Fun little things, not particularly, they're not long games, but they're a lot of fun. I must admit, you sort of think, well, if these guys can do this in an hour, that shows sort of how quick the toy box can allow you to build stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, like the amount of things they were able to do.
Yeah. So that was that. It's cool. There was also 5 new Fantasia toy boxes. You had Magic Mayhem by Diz Explorer 03, where it's the first day of Sorcerer Mickey's apprentice, and you had to go around the workshop and create some mischief. I had a go at that one. Seemed a lot of fun. It seemed pretty cool. I enjoyed that one. Chernenberg's Assault by CC Runner 524. Defeat Chernenberg and work your way through another iconic Fantasia scene. Didn't get to play that one, did you?
No, I didn't get to play that.
Then you had Fan Tracy by King of the Tuners. Zip around the most iconic sites of Fantasia in a long, fast-paced but relaxing racecourse. Nice to see I didn't get to play that one myself.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice little racecourse. So
yeah, I always think it's a good idea to chuck in the odd racecourse every week because it's a good fun side of it. I
mean, they had nice block work too, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
Fantasia Journey by Infinity Guru, complete free in Fantasia inspired levels in the celebration of Fantasia Involve, which is the new video game that they brought out with like a lot of music and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I didn't play that one.
And finally, Fantasia Night on Bold Mountain by Rob Palmer.
You didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd leave that one to last. that there was my toy box that I created. Very super stoked to see that one on the top 5. I was that was my sort of, although I was in last week's Be a Hero, that was my first ever toy box as the top 5 for a theme challenge. So I just couldn't believe the fact that one of my toy boxes got sort of done. I was like, hold on, I got featured 2 weeks running. This is that's me peaked out now.
You got some pressure for the next one.
It's like well, I know there'll be no Big Hero 1. I started one a few weeks ago on Big Hero 6 and decided to abandon all hope on that. I don't know what the story is about. It was a bit like,
because you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, I was checking down some San Fran Tokyo stuff, and I'm just like, it was really hard to sort of vision stuff. So I started work on a Disney Parks Challenge toy box, but I actually abandoned that. I didn't abandon that. I've put it on hold because I decided to have a stab at the Gravity Falls one. Because the main reason I wanted to take a stab at it primarily was just I wanted to take my mind off the parks one and just try something out and just experiment a little bit. I don't watch Gravity Falls. I've watched one episode, and it was just one of those things. I did a little bit of research to get a couple of ideas, and I just wanted to. I'm trying out something completely different than I've done before to see if that works any good. So hopefully that will be up when I complete it. But yeah, that was cool. There were the toy boxes this week. I think
yours was fun.
Yeah,
actually, we enjoyed it. There was a few of us who played on it.
Yeah, so. I'm glad it was quite cool. I think it's quite interesting that they went with the Fantasia idea, because I think I always sort of think of Fantasia as such an old classic movie that it doesn't really have a sort of, I wouldn't say it was a major appeal. What was quite interesting, and it's when you look at the downloads for each of those 5 toy boxes, it seems like mine and the other one, which both say the word Fantasia in the toy boxes, aren't downloaded as much, because I'm wondering if it is because it says Fantasia. And it was just a bit random. It just seemed, it's an 80-year-old movie. Even I find it a bit confusing watching it. So,
Really?
Yeah, well, we've got it on Blu-ray as part of the movie rewards, because me and my wife were like, every time we're trying to buy all the classics, and every week we try or every couple of weeks we try and pick one up, and we've kept putting off Fantasia. It's the same with Fantasia 2000. That's that. Wait, we keep sort of putting it off. So eventually we decided to get the movie rewards to get it in. And it's that kind of thing. You're sort of sitting there watching it, and it's so unlike anything we've seen with Disney. It's so different. Obviously, the Sorcerer's Apprentice is classic. The Night on Bald Mountain is a pretty cool one, but it's just a very odd collection of small pieces. It is very unlike anything we've seen from Disney. It is just very different. But definitely, if you're into sort of Disney, it's worth checking out. It's kind of one of those sort of all-time classics. I'll probably get a load of hate from people going, "How dare you say anything bad against Fantasia?"
I don't think you said anything bad. It's just something that you're just not familiar with.
It was one of those things of like, Fantasia's got a very big following because of it being such a big movie when it came out. And when it came out, it was groundbreaking. There was nothing else. There'd been nothing else like it.
Yeah, I enjoy it because it's actually just pays homage to music and just great pieces that have been composed over so many years. Just to see it animated with something is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think it's gonna be it's just hard to believe it was number 3, and it's sort of how it's aged over time.
But you know what's funny? I mean, this challenge wasn't even really to pay homage to the movie. No. It was more so to the new video game that they're releasing, which is really cool. Actually, I got to play at the events. I tried out Infinity. I also did Fantasia Music. I think it was Music United.
Music Evolved, I think.
Evolved. There you go. And it's a cool game. It definitely utilizes the camera on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And but it's amazing how intricate it is. Like each little piece of whatever scene, if you're in the ocean, like part of the seaweed can actually turn into part of an instrument. It's intense, but it's cool. So.
I must admit, I've barely. My video game time is purely being taken up with Infinity at the minute.
Oh, same here. I only tried it at those events, but it looks cool.
Yes. Right, and now we'll get on to this week's feature for the week, which are these things here, the Assault on, and we're both showing them up to you at the same time. There we go. See. Right, so I've been playing through these again this week just to remind myself about them. These, you've got Assault on Asgard and Escape from the Kyln. These come as part of the Marvel starter pack. They're also going to be released as a twin pack in January, so if you've got the digital or Disney version, you can get hold of them. Right, so first off, first impressions on both of them as a whole. I know myself, and I know a lot of us were really struck when we got our starter packs. These were very much they weren't really promoted very much. We didn't really know too much about them.
Right.
But man, I think everyone really came out the block and was like, these are cool. These are a really great idea.
Yeah, it was the big hit for me with this version of the game. I I mean, a lot of people were saying it's going to be a mini playset. A lot of people are going to say it's like just caters to just the character or the IP. It's themed to, but honestly, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. It was definitely the big hit for me with this expansion. I've had so much fun with a lot of people, especially multiplayer. You played part of the story. It has a little miniature story in there, which is
Yeah.
cool, like a little cinematic stuff. And but what I really loved the most was definitely the survival mode. You can
Yeah.
play with a friend with you or online, and it's just so cool. Both of them are awesome.
Yeah, I think the fact you can play them online against each other. I've played Assault on Kill a couple of times against people, and it's great fun to have online. And I think we're going to see a lot more of these in the future, going
Hmm.
forward. I think they're one side of the game that we're going to see a lot more. But for me, they were just a big surprise hit. I mean, how many hours you can spend doing it, and because of the multiplayer part, it's got replayability.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I've spent so many hours on these things already.
I
So
personally was more the Assault on Asgard was more my favourite. Um, I like using the defense and playing the defense mode and just defending. You've basically got like something you've got to defend and you've got to stop the enemies coming in and you've got to blast them out and they come in waves. Um, and what was also just a quick note. The Disney versions are basically versions of this, but with a different theme. But we'll talk about that in
yeah,
another episode. But I love the weapon ones. All I ever did was, to be honest, was ever place the machine gun turret. I never really bothered with the other ones, the freeze and the catapult and the blocks. As long as I placed loads and loads of machine guns, that pretty much usually used to do the deal for me.
yeah. The tower defense was a lot of fun for me. For me, honestly, I enjoyed Escape from Kill a little bit more. Even though, like I said, they're both awesome. Uh, I just played both of them multiplayer. I felt it was a little bit more repetitive with the tower defense, obviously.
Yeah,
But I don't know. The dungeon crawler Escape from Kill was cool. Just to play multiplayer with somebody. You know, you're exploring this big map. You don't have to stay together at all times. But the further you go up, the harder the level becomes. The enemies become harder, and then you have to start like creating strategy just to just to stay alive and keep going. I mean, same thing with the tower defense though. Tower defense is cool. You have to make sure you defend whatever trophy or
yeah,
idol or whatever you're protecting. But like you said, the just the fact that you can choose whatever weapons or defense mechanisms
yeah.
you're gonna actually use to protect your stuff. It's just cool. It's
And
new,
also,
it's fresh, and it's awesome.
I think that's the thing that really caught my attention with these two things is they are slightly completely different from a playset. They're bringing a different style of gameplay in, and it's some variety. You know, you're playing that kill one, and that's not like a playset in the slightest. It's um I f- it's that 3D camera coming down, and it's just very different. You know, throwing in different enemies. It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I'm really was very. It's one of the, I think it's the one thing that you're going to keep diving in and out of because of that multiplayer. You can keep. It gives you so much more, and playsets can't be played online. These can, and I think that's a massive selling point.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a plus that they added these to Disney Infinity. It's cool that they're themed to something. They have a miniature story to them, and you spent ridiculous amount of hours playing these already. And
Yeah,
even with friends who come over, it's a lot of fun.
I think for me as a single tend to play singly. Might be why I was maybe more happy with the Assault on Asgard. It seemed like more of a single player experience than maybe the other one. It seemed to you're playing it and it just seemed a little bit more sort of involved for a single player, where like you say the Assault or the Escape one is a lot more fun playing with other people because you can run off and you can do your things, whereas I don't know if that quite works the same when it's
No, I also want to mention a couple of things about these that are interesting little selling points, because I have a different group of friends who they like action figures, they like other video games, other styles, and so they were never really into Disney Infinity or anything like them, like Amiibo or Skylanders. In fact, I would get a little bit of making fun of
Yeah.
because of it. But anyways, I had a friend come over, and it's because of these games that they're like, wow, this is amazing. I actually have two friends who I would never think would play this game actually purchased the starter pack and now are playing with me because of these games. And another cool thing that I did want to mention is if you have a friend who comes over and obviously they don't have their own Infinity figures, they can play as a guest with you. And the cool thing about that is any experience and any sparks for currency that you pick up in these games get shared. So you will not only have all the currency collected by your friend, but now you're doubling your experience because you're leveling up two figures at the same time.
Yeah, and
so
you do really get
kind of cool,
you do really level up quick when you're playing these games as well.
Absolutely.
It's a great way of sort of getting characters sort of stronger.
Yeah, no, I got my characters to 20 pretty fast with these discs. So.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I started using Hawkeye this week in the Escape one. Because I've got him up to level 20, and once I got those arrows sort of at full power, he's quite. I was quite. I was, because you said to me, oh, he's really good, he's really strong. I'm like,
he is.
I'm sitting there. Good. It looked like he's got there with the little the rubber bow kind of thing. But yeah, once he's leveled up, yeah, he takes them out. But yeah, I think that's the cool thing with these is any of the Marvel characters can go into these.
That's correct.
So there's, you can take 20. You can't take any of the Disney ones in there until you complete it, I think. Is that right?
You can't take them into, from my understanding, you can't take them into the actual story of it, like the 10 levels.
Yeah.
But I believe you can take them into, I know you can take them into the survival mode or the skirmish mode as they call it, because I have. I've played with the Disney ones inside
the skirmish mode is kind of basically just a random selection. They just randomly keep rebuilding level after level after level.
Yeah, and it's that's actually another thing that I've spent ridiculous amount of hours with friends. There was time I think where we played 2 hours straight just trying to see how far we can go. Then we had to take a break.
Yeah, I think that's for me is because maybe I've slipped into toy box building. That's what's soaking up my time. I'm spending good 3 hours a night just building toy boxes.
I need to start doing that myself.
rather than sort of playing online or playing the toy box. So that's where the game's soaking my time in is just building. And so like I said, I can easily crack up 15-20 hours building a toy box, and that would have been a lot of time in here playing against and sort of getting things done that way. But I think they were a great purchase when they come out as a pack in January. If you haven't already done so, and you haven't, if you're after a little bit of content, they're a good little purchase. They a lot of fun. They actually each contain 10 levels within each other. So there's they've said, what was it, 2 to 4 hours worth of gameplay in each one.
Yeah, which is completely bogus because I've spent so many hours.
Yeah, literally. For say for example that for me is 2 to 4 hours. So if I spent, I don't know, maybe 3-4 hours going through the Assault on Asgard, that's me just going through, completing the level, unlocking all the toys, and then that's it. Okay, that would be 3 to 4 hours. But like you said, the skirmish mode would go on for hours, and that doesn't take into account any replay time, So probably in your instance here, you've probably spent more time using them than a playset.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the 2 to 4 hours. Honestly, I want to say it's really just 2 hours that it took me to complete the 10 levels.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's also the survival mode in there, and that mode, it's. I mean, the replay value is cool, and it's not just because of the fun that you can have with your friends, but it's the enemies are different. They're not just themed to Asgard or Kyln. I mean, even the skies change, the terrains change, everything's different. So you might be playing with I don't know, you might be playing with the jungle Books guy,
Yeah.
you have the Spider-Man terrain, and then you have
Just
villains
random.
from Incredibles. Everything's completely random.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's kind of cool. It adds this
Yeah.
like fresh and new feel to the game. So it's cool.
It's also quite interesting. What really got me with these two was, first off, when you look at the unlockable toys. The Assault on Asgard has 2 pages of toys, a load of townspeople, and a load of just toys you can use to build. Great. Then you go on to this Escape from the Kyln one. 6 pages of toys to unlock. The first page full of useful toys. Then you got townspeople, and then we've got sidekicks and hats and helmets and armor. And I'm gonna kind of put my head out on the block here and kind of go, I've been playing this one over and over again. Those sidekicks, to me, I just see them as pointless.
Yes and no. It depends, because when I've played the actual story itself, they do become useful. Especially if you're by yourself. The more you level them up, the more damage they do. Because these levels do get difficult on your own.
Yeah.
But as far as how useful they are outside of these, then yeah, I would agree with you. They are pointless, and they're honestly not even necessary.
It
In
just
fact,
seems that
I think we've used these. Sorry, Roger. We've used these sidekicks on actual toy boxes.
Yeah.
And they are completely buggy and obnoxious, so they're not even worth it.
I mean, the only thing
Go
I
ahead.
can see of, you pick up a little townsperson and then you throw them through a door and unlock something. Okay, I get that. But, I'm walking through and it was like, your person's not leveled up enough to grab this. Your person's not leveled up to that. And it's like, well, and you're unlocking all these, you just see all these helmets to unlock and all of this lot. And I don't particularly know if they, in my mind, they maybe didn't explain what they are.
They didn't explain it, but it took us some time to figure out when we were playing.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have an attack point value, you have a shield point value or health, whatever, and then the little eye is
Searching
actually
one.
it's vision, and that is what allows you to go into those little, like if it said, I'm not a high level enough to go in there, it's because they can't search that level.
Yeah,
but you are right. We were kind of in the dark with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, it's a little bit of a those things with the psychics. It's a nice little thing that they're trying something different. Definitely feels like these 2 toy box game discs are going to be something that they're going to continue to build on. That they're going to continue to offer. I'm surprised we're not going to get more of them in 2.0. I don't know if they were a bit of an experiment to see if they worked, see what the feedback was to them, maybe get us used to the concept of them. It's just that thing of, like, for me, like, if they had, if they were able, obviously they're not going to take as long to build as a playset. They can't be as much, because of the way of how they use. They can be simple games, but with repetition and through different levels of difficulty, and a few cutscenes, and sort of think like next week every month we've got a new toy box game disc come out, or they could spread the content out a lot more better for 6 months or 8 months using these instead of play sets. And that's my view. Rather than throw them all out on launch, this is the one thing they could spread out content.
Oh, see, and I kind of disagree with you. I honestly think they need to spread out everything, not just these play sets, figures, even power discs. I mean, the whole 40 at one hit is great to have them all at once, but man, it's just tough to get them all. I'd rather have them in little waves. But other than that,
these are all the ones that arrived this week for me from eBay and trading. I must have got about 20 Disney ones this week. just from, like, the mailman is just dropping off packet after packet after packet. It's the one thing I think with them is that I really hope we see a lot more of these in the future. I'm really excited about the whole Toy Box Game Disc. I think it's something we really, will see a lot more of in the future, and it's just a great thing overall, and they didn't announce them enough. They didn't promote them. They just sort of dropped into the toy boxes, into our starter packs, and we popped them down just to see what they were.
Yeah, no, it was a very pleasant surprise.
I think it's one of those things of, everyone goes on about the play sets, but personally, I'd much rather see, a lot more development time going into these, as well
Well,
as, as well
honestly,
as,
honestly, Roger, they don't even spend that much time developing these. Absolutely every level that you play is generated by the computer.
yeah,
It's even the story mode. You have to wait a few minutes for it to actually
yeah.
build. So
Well, it's
clearly they have this formula that'll have this whole level builder for you. So maybe they can put out more of these faster because you have
yeah, but they've still
this
got
already
to.
generated
Yeah,
program.
I mean, they still have to design the toys. They still have to, and obviously we
Oh
don't.
yeah, but that's with everything.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to design those the items to put in, and they've got to sort of do those cutscenes. But it just feels like, because it's all built within the toy box, it's a little bit more looser, a little bit more freer to use.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
I'd like to see. I'm not saying let's only have two play sets and 25 of those toy box games. This
Oh no, yeah.
nice variety, but it would be great to see some more in the future. And also, I think just in general, I think they just need to be aware that you need more content, and these are a sort of a step between the toy box and a play set.
Yeah, yeah.
If,
Definitely a new option for everybody, which is
yeah,
great. You don't just want toy box and then see. I don't even consider these toy box. It's just the toy box, the play set, and then toy box game discs.
yeah.
So it's three options now.
I mean, it's like that kind of thing as well of being able to offer sort of additional thing of like being able to get in there and just try some different things out and expand the universe a bit more. They could do a toy box on, for example, like we have with the Marvels or the Disney side, where they could have come out with like I don't know, like a Venom level or a Captain America themed sort of toy box game disc, which they maybe couldn't have done with a whole play set. And they can expand the universe that much more. And it's just an idea, really. I think it's one thing that they, hopefully are going to be looking into in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so that there was the those two toy box game discs. Really, really great stuff. Really enjoyed them. Like we said, I think we between them, you definitely spend just as much time in them, if not longer, than anything else we do.
Yeah, absolutely. I spend more time on them right now.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Okay. So the last thing before we go is just a quick reminder again about our competition. This week you can win Maleficent and Merida. So be sure to check out VanimationKingdom.com. I have a link in the bottom as well for how to get hold of that. If you're listening to us on iTunes or any other audio version of this, like Stitcher or just a direct download, remember you can subscribe through there, follow us which way they do it on the system you're using, so you can keep track of the latest Disney Infinity news. If you're on YouTube, as Black Nerd Comedy says, tickle that subscribe button. I love that. We're watching. So I'm going to nick that one from him. So tickle that subscribe button, and so you can keep up with the latest news. And that pretty much sums it up. Next week we are going to look at the Disney Toy Box game discs and kind of share our thoughts on them. They'll be pretty similar, I expect, to these ones, but I think it's only fair that they get just as much time as the Marvel side. And we'll be back next week with another webcast. Anything else you want to add to that, Abe?
No, just go and try to win these awesome figures. It's very generous of the Disney Infinity team to allow us to give these to you guys for the holidays. So please go and try to win them.
Yep. And everyone in the US, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your turkey on Thursday, and enjoy your mad shopping on Friday.
Thank you. Yes. I will not be having turkey. I'll be having ham.
Ham.
Yes. A big.
Is that where it comes in a tin, or do you actually?
No. My dad is he used to be a chef, and he would he would disown me if I bought
I've seen it in
Hamilton.
movies. I think it's like Christmas with the Cranks or something. And everyone's going nuts over a can of what looks to be like a can of Spam.
That's a no. Don't
And,
do that.
and I'm sitting there going, really? On Christmas, on a big holiday, you're just gonna open up a tin of Spam, and that's your main.
Yeah. No, we do a honey mustard roasted ham. And it's bone in straight from the butcher, and
Yeah.
no in the
Yeah,
can or nothing.
my dad was a butcher as well, so I grew up. Sort of processed meat was never really sort of a huge thing for us as well. Big joints of beef and pork and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, a hot dog is as close as the processed meat as I'll
Yeah,
get.
I don't think my dad even let us eat that. It was like, not when you can have a proper sausage.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, we're getting into a whole
Yeah.
different webcast here.
A little
so
bit of cross.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, on next week's cookery show, how to cook.
Yeah, cooking with infinity.
Yeah, yeah, how to melt down Nick Fury because no one uses them.
Yeah.
Right, okay, thank you very much for watching, guys, and we shall see you in another video.
Later, guys.